Hello and welcome to the next edition of the Evolve Health Mentor Masterclass. My name is Chris Lincoln, I work in the Lincolnshire region. I am part of the National PE Coordinator team, and today I'd like to talk to you about assessment in PE lessons. So why do assessment in PE lessons? Well, the simple reason is to make sure that all the children are understanding the learning objectives and achieving them in the best possible manner. There are many different types of assessments. Obviously, there are reports, there's data collections, such as we do for our impact reports, and also on a regular basis for the class teachers, so they understand where their children are at. But actually, within the PE lessons itself, there are various different assessment techniques. First of all, you've got RAG assessment, which means red, amber, and green. The children may come into the session at the start and rate themselves on their knowledge of the topic that's in question. So if they feel they don't have much knowledge on the topic, they might put themselves behind a red cone. They might rate themselves as amber if they think they've got an okay knowledge. And if they think they're quite good and they can achieve most of the tasks set in front of them, they will go for green. You may like to revisit this technique at the end of the session to see whether they've improved and how many children, and that will give you an understanding of how successful your session is. We've also got pupil feedback and peer feedback. So in a session itself, you may get a child to do a demonstration, such as in a dance lesson, they may provide their routine, and you may ask the other children to provide feedback on the routine itself, looking at strengths and areas of development. That will give the children understanding of where they need to improve and also what their strengths are, but also allow the other children to understand how to analyse and assess themselves. Questioning is a common form of technique within PE lessons as well to use with assessment. So the teacher may ask questions to the students to make sure they understand what they're learning and what they're setting out to achieve. The questions may also be asked between the children themselves. So one child could ask another what they feel about the session, where they think they are doing well, where they feel that their areas of improvement are as well. You could also use video analysis. For example, I quite often use this with my children that can't do for PE for whatever reason, maybe an injury or an illness, and they might come around with an iPad and film the PE session or film a certain person, and then we could use that as part of another PE lesson in the future, maybe if it's wet weather and you can't use any facilities, and have a look at the technique. So you may be doing a tennis serve, for example, and if you've got it videoed, you can go through the correct technique for the serve and look at where they can be improved, and again the strengths of that technique itself. So in terms of your assessment, you may like to follow the same assessment guideline throughout. So you may do all of your PE sessions, looking at RAG assessments to begin with, questioning, peer feedback, demonstrations throughout the middle of the session, and then revisit the RAG assessment afterwards. Or you may like to use different techniques for different sessions. It all depends on the group you have and how they work best. Some might prefer the routine of doing the same assessment techniques throughout so they know what's coming. Others may work better if you keep them on the toes with various different assessment techniques. But there are lots to do, but they're quite easy to fit in. Only take as long as you want. You may want to spend 5 minutes using an assessment technique. You may want to do a quick question which only takes 10-15 seconds with the answer as well. And that is assessment in PE sessions. Thank you very much.